All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Hershey Me vlog episode. Tonight, ladies, for your viewing and learning pleasure, and men, maybe you can pick up a couple of things. We are doing the King's Court Part 2. We're going to do it a little different than we did it last time, which is I'm going to just let the guys talk. No interruptions. I know that sounds crazy as a woman, but no interruptions. I'm just going to let the guys talk. And if they have a question for me, I'm here. But Mike will be moderating tonight. Say hi, Mike.
What's up? Hi, Mike.
Also with us, we have Jewel. Jewel is back. He was in part 1. We have Carlos with us tonight. He's new. Hi, Carlos. We have Brandon with us tonight. If you've had a chance to check out the last podcast episode, you'll hear and learn a little bit about Brandon. And we don't have video for him right now, but John is with us tonight too. Say hi, John.
Hello, everyone.
So y'all know that it's John and not the voice of God randomly interrupting this video. All right, so with that being said, I am going to exercise some shut up, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Mike. Take it away.
Yes. Fellas, what's good? What's
going on, brother? Salam. All right.
Hey, you know, hey, it is what it is. So there's been a lot of talk around the internet. The ladies want to know what we know. But tonight, I think it's very important for us as men, not only sharing with women, but actually to share with the guys that listen to this podcast, what it means to be emotionally mature. And I think the group of fellows that we have here tonight exhibit some of that maturity that we want to see our younger generation coming up behind us pass along. So that being said, we'll jump right into it. And anybody that want to answer, what do you think it is to be emotionally mature? And then there were crickets.
Hey man, I'll take a quick shot at it. First, I think we need to make sure that we don't get caught up on the term mature, because maturity is usually linked or more or less synonymous to age. That's what a lot of times people try to think, that maturity comes along with age. Myself, I think, man, that maturity really comes along with experience. And I think that's what we need to start, taking into consideration, that when a person is emotionally mature, they have to think about when they have experienced something, not to continue to go back and react to that experience the exact same way. An emotional mature person reacts to an experience in the aspect of what they learn from it. And I'm gonna just throw one example out there to you, just something that anybody and everybody could think about. All right. Miss Asia stumped her toe earlier. All right.
Right.
She stumped her toe earlier. Now, I could have stumped my toe today and fell on the floor, rolled over, crying, screaming, and yelling that every time I see a table, I'm gonna scream and yell at it. Or I could be emotionally mature about the idea, and every time I see a table, you know what I do? I just become a little more cautious. You know how we used to say that? Don't say sorry, just be careful next time.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. Now, shoot far right. Let's say I got cheated on. Now, I might take that and run with it, boy. And every single time I run into a young lady, I'm going to go with the most extreme measure when something happens.
Right.
And it may not be an actual cheat. I might just catch her talking to a dude. But an emotionally mature person would see the young lady talking to someone and learn from those past experiences of, it may not be in your best interest to run up on her and that gentleman and try to fight. You don't know what kind of hands that man got. You know what I'm saying? So it might be in your best interest just to step back, watch the situation, and talk to her about it later. That's an emotionally mature way of doing it. By still having emotion, but not letting it react in a way like a child. So, have a conversation rather than a reaction,
Right.
Just a thought, man.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Maturity is not necessarily based on age, because you think about somebody said it. I think it was Brandon that said it in the last podcast. Was like us as kids, like we were doing things as teenagers and adolescents that taking care of the house, doing a lot of stuff that our parents were doing. And then now it's not the same way. Kids necessarily even today aren't kids, but they're not in a headspace to even do some of the stuff that we did.
That's right.
Being brought up. Because I say it all the time. I used to tell Trey all the time, hey man, when I was your age, I was doing this. I was doing this. I was cutting grass, 8, 9 years old. Man, I put that dude outside behind a lawnmower at 8. Hell no, that ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we were, it's a different era. So I don't necessarily, I'm with you. I don't believe that maturity comes with age. It does, in a sense, some of it comes from experience, but age should increase your emotional awareness.
Right.
Right, Joe.
I think it also comes with knowing yourself, understanding yourself. Yeah. That's when maturity always comes in, knowing who the fuck you are in the first place. If you know you got a bad temper, don't go around with anything that's going to trigger your bad temper. The simple as that. Well, that could be something too. But Smith know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I don't know this dude for almost 38 years.
Yeah.
And
you get those moments. But I
didn't give a fuck.
Limits too. They add on to the limits too. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing yourself and understanding when you put in those situations.
Yeah.
That's what all comes with maturity. All that comes with maturity. It ain't about just to add on what my man said. It ain't about age. It's about knowing yourself, knowing what you're capable of.
Right. Yeah.
About self-awareness. That's super important. Yeah. Self-awareness is super important. There's no way you can be emotionally mature without having self-awareness, knowing your triggers and stuff like that.
Right.
I think at this point in our lives, though, like with us gathering together, being mature men, I kind of feel like it's kind of inexcusable to be socially immature at this point in our lives. So, I really mean to the point where it's almost a choice. Because taking age out of the equation is correct. It has nothing to do with your age, and once you get to a point of understanding how to, socially execute accordingly, I believe what you're saying. You're right, Mr. Smith, about the age thing and the maturity. That doesn't go hand in hand at all. Because we see young men who are exceptionally mature, and then older men who are jackasses.
Yep.
Right.
But I think since what he was mentioning before about the being aware of yourself, all that being said, once you get to that part, I think the next stage after that is probably more like self-management. I think that's where the social, the emotional intelligence actually, I think that's where it actually executes that, is the management of your emotions within themselves and when to use them properly. Because nothing's wrong with anger, nothing's wrong with getting overly excited or whatever, whatever those emotions may be. But when you manage it, the way you use your time, the way you use those emotions play a big part in emotional intelligence in general. Just
I feel the same way. Even that being said, how do I know for me, how do you manage your emotional triggers? Because I had on my shirt the other day, and I say jujitsu is my therapy. I use that mat. I can go in there feeling whatever, and I know I don't want to know some days, and G was like, yo, I can tell by the way you move, and I can tell by the way you dumping these people. just the way I execute my intent. He was like, you needed this. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of clears everything out so I can have a better, more clarity as far as going forward. It clears all the trash out. I get all that anger out, and now I can think clearly. So I use my martial arts as a management tool.
Yeah, excellent management tool.
So what tools do you use to manage your triggers?
Right now, currently I use meditation. I mean, I play basketball, exercise, or whatever like that, but that's just really for my physical. I mean, I think the combination of the both is what really emotional intelligence boils down to. Because even insecurities affect your emotions. I think looking good, feel good. That's a real thing to me. You know, or whichever way you want to put it. You know, however it works. But for me, it's meditation. Because I mean, at one point in my time when I was a young man, I thought it was hooping or smoking weed or whatever like that. It got to a point where I was on my own. Being in my mid to late 20s, it became drinking. I thought drinking is what it was to help me become, calm myself. But now it's meditation. And with that meditation, I've been able to, in a way, check my emotions as far as like, I guess I do it so much now. Your physiology reacts, certain kind of ways to certain emotions anyway. Like certain things happen to your body, you can feel it change, your heart rate, the heavy breathing, whenever the adrenaline, you can feel that all anyway. So like meditation gave me the ability to, actually think physically and mentally, think the whole way around before I react. That helped me.
I'm naturally excited all the time, so I smoke weed to calm down.
Power to you, bro. Hey, look. Hey, look.
I'm always amped the fuck up, I stay happy about life.
Hey, I want to say, John, I love the transition from the highway to the screen. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very much appreciated. Very cinematic. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can finish.
You're with us.
So yeah, like for me, like I said, I'm always happy about everything around me. And I feel like when maturity is experience plus growth. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to learn from the experience to grow and know how to handle the next experience if you're ever faced with it again. You know what I'm saying? It's like learn from the history. So if you're moving forward in life and you're not learning from history, then all the stupid shit that you get in trouble for now, you will definitely get in trouble for in the future because you haven't learned to deal with that shit as a man. You know what I mean? Like, period. Take care of your motherfucking responsibilities. And learn from them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't pay your bills, you will get evicted, or you will lose your car, or you will get your phone cut off. You know what I'm saying? Or you will lose that chick that is, getting her nails done every week or getting her hair done, off of your cake. Then yeah, you're definitely gonna, you know what I'm saying? You learn like common sense shit. You know what I'm saying? You learn from that shit. You know what I'm saying? We as kids. Well, what's up, Mike?
I'm saying, well, of course, you know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. But that's the definition of insanity. That's the absolute definition of insanity. You know what I'm saying? To compete, to repeat the same process over and over and over again with the same result.
Expecting a different result. That's it.
But that monster, people say that so easily. That monster is birthed from addiction. Like our nature, like our brain wants to feel good all the time, constantly. I think that's the whole point of the emotional intelligence is being aware to react to those feelings. You know what I mean? Because we do, just saying that insanity thing. Like when I hear people say that, like on a plane service, that statement is true. It's very black and white. It's so black and white that we do these insanities on a daily basis, on a regular, no matter how small it may be, how big it may be. We still do these things constantly. But physically, we do these things all the time. I mean, like that insanity, which Allen Iverson called practice. You know what I'm saying? Makes some people better, depending on whatever it has to be. But I don't think I don't think that repetition is a bad thing, so to speak. I don't know. I feel like you always learn a lesson from it, but you know, it can roll into stupidity.
Yeah.
Like, you know, honestly, it can roll into that, you know, but I haven't really had anything bad happen to me from that insane cycle, so to speak, besides anything, unless it dealt with like addiction or some shit like that, or just, you know, breaking the law. The consequence, I think the consequence causes carries the word insanity with it, as opposed to like the outcome more of that than the actual thing what you're doing. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. Repetition for it's different. Now, if you're doing something that obviously that is not working, and it's the second or third time you done it, and you're still doing it, and it's not working, nor benefiting you in any positive way, then yeah, you do some changes. Yeah, you have to make some changes, hands down.
That adds the clarity to the cliche as well.
Well, the key, the cliche, actually, what it says is it's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of times what, you know, what we tend to do. We always think, well, hey, if I make this move, if I step left, I won't get hit. Bam, you get hit. If I step left again, I won't get hit. Maybe I'm gonna get lucky this time. No. I'm gonna tell you, man. I was real big when I was deployed quite a few times. I used to always read these quotes, right? I got sent a book of quotes, and there was a gentleman go by the name of Cassius Clay. Some of y'all may know him as Muhammad Ali, right? Muhammad Ali said, "A man that views life at 50 the same way he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life."
Yes.
Dig that. You know what I'm saying? Dig that. And, you know what I'm saying? And of course, a lot of times what we tend to realize now, and my grandfather, boy, and Mike Nasty know my granddaddy, man, he used to say stuff like, he used to say, you know, just like a rooster in the field, boy, listen, a boy will do one of two things. Think about it now. A boy will forever do one of two things. Either he gonna grow up or he gonna grow old. That's it. And I'm sure a lot of you brothers have met these old cats out here who ain't nothing but old boys, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Yeah, that's all they some old boys. And you know what I'm saying? They still got that 18, 19 street runner mentality, you know, still trying to dress like them, still trying to talk like them. And yet that's all they are. They just some old boys. They got some age on them, but they still don't have that emotional maturity that we was talking about. Because they're responding to things like a child. That's right. You know, and that's really it. And they keep acting that way, expecting that something different is going to happen, which is still why you got them, you know, and I'm not going to say it's bad, but still got some of them 60, 70-year-old men that's single, been married 42,000 times, you know, got a lot of kids out there, and they trying to tell you how to handle the street. You know what I'm saying? They trying to tell you how to maintain your relationship.
Absolutely.
Come on, sir. Come on.
No. Yeah. So even with all that being said, so how do you know what I'm saying, deal with your, you know what I'm saying, emotional issues? Rejection.
I deal with mine through self-reflection, man. I'm gonna tell you, it took a lot, you know. Again, I don't blame it on people. Always say, "Oh, Smith, you this way because of the military." I'm not. You know, you already know, Nast. I was raised by my grandparents,
both.
There you go. Raised by that, able to see how a man, not just a male, and we all know a male is that's some person that got them certain type of chromosomes and, you know, got testicles that drop. I'm talking about a man, to see how a man functions in a household and how he responds to having a strong woman in the house, not say independent, because she had her own money, but she was a strong woman in the house. So seeing how my grandfather functioned and shook and moved in that note made me continue to have a circle in bounds within myself. Every time I make a move, I'm thinking about something. A lot of times I reflect back to, you know, like people, what the t-shirt say, what would Jesus do? You know, yeah. I'm always thinking back a lot, oh man, how would CA handle this situation? You know, how would he do it? Because I'm always reflecting back. Because I tell you the truth, man, until my grandparents got old, I've never seen them argue. And then when they got old, when they was arguing, it was funny to us because, you know, that wasn't no real fight. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no real fight, you know. But now that we young,
I think
if you see a young relationship, they don't want this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they nuck
I
up.
think that's more of a problem nowadays because you don't have that anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't have sons that are able to look back at their grandfathers and grandmothers because some of them grew up single mothers, single fathers, raising, and they don't have that. They don't have that pivotal point. So once they get to our age, they don't know how to deal with their emotions. They don't know how to not lash out and slap them, just fuck up the world. You know what I'm saying? Which is it's a lot of damn, it's a word I can't even damn think of it, but it's basically like you say like emotional maturity. It's really like, do you have a pivotal point to know how to act when emotions come into play? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like when you seen your mother be upset, you know what I'm saying? Did she take it? Like, did she just cry about it? You know what I'm saying? Did she get mad? Did she drink? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you got to look at, and then that's how that repetitiveness of them watching that plants that seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then moving forward, it's like now how do you deal with emotions? When it comes to you and your family and your child, you know what I mean? Like you're thrown off. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have the correct pivotal point like you did. Like you had a mother, a father, a grandfather, a grandmother. They were together. You saw what the man was supposed to do. You saw what the woman was supposed to do. So when you look for a woman, you're looking for a woman who can do those type of things because you watched a woman do those type of things. So when you bring a woman into your house, she's gonna be your wife. She gotta know how to clean the house, you know what I'm saying, cook food. When all that type of stuff that would go on when you're becoming a king. You know what I'm saying? That's.
What's up, Omarr? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So Omarr is also one of the new members of the King's Court. We hearing from him tonight. So, what was I saying? Oh, about the we don't have those role models as far as parents, grandparents. So you think a lot of these kids now are single parents themselves, and it's mostly single women with these kids. So coming up, that's all they see. So they don't have that role model where they even with their grandparents, their parents. You know what I'm saying? These grandparents are single parents. So they don't have those grandparents. We had those grandparents that stayed together for, you know what I'm saying, ever and a day. May or may not. You know what I'm saying? It was may or may not their parents be together. Most everybody had you know what I'm saying, a mom and a dad in the house. Even with a stepdad, they had someone there. Kids don't have that option these days. You got babies having babies. So that's where we lose that village at also. So we still have to reach, you know what I'm saying, us being at this age, we still have to reach back, you know what I'm saying, to help pull them up to where we are. To, you know what I'm saying, help, you know what I'm saying, that's why we're doing this, to give them a little insight on that emotional maturity.
Right. I definitely agree with that because, I agree with what you were saying, Smith, but I didn't grow up like that, yo. Like I didn't have nobody to give me advice and do all of this shit. Like I was in and out of jail, in and out of the streets. I was doing all kind of shit. My life is together now, but I had to be taught that. I didn't have, it wasn't given to me. I didn't get the juice. You know what I mean? I had to go and get my own motherfucking juice. So like, I hear that though, cause like my dad grew up like how you're sounding. Like I've heard stuff like that. Like I have friends, but I didn't have that. I had my parents, but they got divorced. I don't know, I was like in high school or whatever, but shit just changed drastically for me, like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I was kind of like fending for myself. I stopped even caring about a lot of stuff, which is irrelevant. But yeah, I had to be taught that like meetings like this. I wish I had knew about this during my struggles as a young man. Coming into my 30s, kind of thing. It would have helped me out a whole lot better. Like people who are like that. I know a lot of people who are still in the streets. I got friends who are real drug dealers. They real drug dealers. They friends to me. And I look, and the old boy thing you talk about, I know a lot of guys like that I'm friends with. I'm not like that. I'm a man now. From your description, I consider myself on the other side of it. But I know exactly what you meant. I see it a lot, and I know a lot of guys who are like that, and they got sons and you'll think them and their sons are best friends, and it wasn't a father and son relationship, you know.
Right.
And I've seen that a lot, you know. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But for me, like, I think like it's kind of like a bridge kind of way, because I was able to escape that. You know, I was able to escape that and become who I am today, sort of thing. And I appreciate you saying that, because, you know, it helps me more so. Cause I like being that kind of bridge type. I like being that kind of bridge between that transition, even with people that I know who's still in that shit. You know, I still like being that bridge type. That's why I like doing this right here. That's why I was so heavy on it. Like, oh yeah, for real. Like, you know, I like that. I agree with that. Like, that is a problem in our community, big time.
I think for me,
we don't.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Oh no, I talk too much anyway. I don't mind listening.
I think for me, man, like I'm like at my age, I have multiple tools. I got a tool bag to deal with my emotions, because, you know, different tools for different situations. I'm just gonna be honest. One of them is I like boxing, sparring, to release that aggression at times that I have. Another thing I use, shit, I ain't gonna lie, therapy. I'm a firm believer of therapy. You know, I will call that brother up like, look, man, we need to talk. And set me in from appointment between 9 and 11. I need a whole block to get this off my chest to figure out if I'm losing my shit or not. And to me, I have no problem with it. I think mental health is great. And just like your body, just like you exercise, you need to exercise your mind and your emotions. That's a lot of that is based on, a lot of people reactions based on because of mental health, hands down.
My weed man is my psychologist.
But that's, you know what I'm saying? But I feel you, but that's a great caveat into, you saying, like, my next subject, because for us in here, being where we are, you know what I'm saying, what are your thoughts, you know what I'm saying, on therapy? That was my, you know what I'm saying, that was my next question. But even that being said, I'm with you. Like I said, I'm like you. I got no issues with calling up, hey, yo, doc.
Me either, man.
This is, look, we need to get this in. I mean, I was seeing my therapist like once a week at one point. She was like, look, I'm gonna need you to schedule every 2 weeks. I don't That's real talk. Like, look, so, well, yeah, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? And going back on, you know what I'm saying, looking at something that Brandon said, him going through something after his parents divorced, that was, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know how to channel or what he was feeling emotionally, you know what I'm saying, and how to deal with that.
Right.
And if us as one, you know what I'm saying, one day, you know what I'm saying, I might be somebody's role model, I don't know. Being that role model, being those for those kids and help them, you know what I'm saying, be that bridge to help them get, you know what I'm saying, get the tools they need, you know what I'm saying, to deal with those emotions. Because then it was like, you know what I'm saying, he'll be all right. He'll be mad for a couple of days, you know what I'm saying. Man up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man up. That's what you do. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Get over it. You know what I'm saying?
That's that bullshit.
That's right.
That's that
but all of that led to the other stuff. You know, like I said, I tried to smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I thought that was, you know, to do it and like to drink. You know what I was doing it. I told myself I was doing it for that. You know what I mean? As opposed to just wanting to do it, you know, so.
Right.
That's how it was back then. But I think a lot of young guys, you know, they don't turn to help. They think motherfuckers like us don't want to help them. They think we look down on them. They think we think we're better than them because we're older than them, because they have attitudes, which they do. And I don't think, you know, and honest with you, bro, like guys that I know that be like, you know, it's like they old boys or whatever like that, you know, they the ones who need to know that shit. The people who are our age who still on that shit, who are living life, you know, they living life financially well, but on what you're talking about, like the emotional side, hell no, you're not living right. Like very, very reactive. You know what I'm saying? It's very reactive. Like you already know.
May I say something?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, man. We can get you.
So, from my knowledge and experience, there are 3 main reasons why, especially Black men, do not go see therapy. 1, because in our community, if you go to a therapist, you're looked down upon as though there's something wrong with you.
That's stigma.
So,
the stigma.
To the Black community, if you if you go see a therapist, you're looked down upon. It's frowned upon. When it comes to Black men, if you show your emotions, you're considered a bitch. And this is including from either Black men or even from women. If you cry or you show any form of true emotions, like your feelings are hurt, especially if a woman hurt your feelings. If you show that they hurt your feelings, she's looking at you like, the fuck? Wait, what?
Right.
I hurt your feelings. What, man, if you don't man the fuck up, what the hell?
Yeah.
Your feeling, so that
shit
goes.
Out of it. Oh, you love me.
That could go one of two ways. But that could go one of two ways.
See how this shit is just so unbalanced. Right. And I'm not laughing about abuse. I'm not picking on that. But you see how it's so just unbalanced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's out there. People live those lives all the time. Black men, Black women. And it's real talk. Unfortunately, it's real talk.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
I agree. But that's the thing where it's a double-edged sword. If we don't show our emotions, we're fussed at, we're cussed at. Oh man, you don't care because you don't ever share your emotions. You act like you don't really give a damn about what's going on. But then when we do show our emotions, then like, ugh, look at you, man. Now I need a hard man. I need a eight.
You gotta serve it to him with a little salt.
Like the
you can't just give him straight out emotion. Like you got to donkey punch him while you crying. You know what I'm saying?
Like DMX.
Hey, you said make a slam the head of the refrigerator door.
The very last reason why I would say we don't go to therapy, we don't go any of that, is because we aren't taught, especially Black men as young boys, to talk about what the hell is going on. As you guys said earlier, man up. Why are you crying? Nah, boy, if you don't suck that shit up and just go deal with it, you need to hold that stuff in.
Has horrible coping skills. The Black community as a whole has horrible coping skills. Like that's that's a big stereotype we're known for.
Exactly, but that would be a reason why we don't talk about it. We don't go get. My stance is this: when I'm a single father. I've been a single father for years and years and years and years and years. Been doing it by myself. And when I became a single father, it was because I got a divorce and I went to go see a therapist because I needed to get the frustration and anger out of me so I could be able to take care of my son properly. I needed to. And if I didn't, there would have been no way I could raise my boys the way in which I'm raising them, holding on to that anger, that frustration, that, anxiety from getting a divorce.
Okay.
And I did not want to raise my boys with all of that inside of me. That's so right. I started out, I was going 4 times a month. Then I went twice a month. Then I went once a month. And now I just go sporadically when I absolutely need it. Right. But it helped me. It helped me to understand. It helped me to release. It helped me to be better. And personally, I believe if more people, not just men, not just women, not just Black, not just white, not just Asian, if more people went to talk their shit through, I think marriages would last longer. Friendships will last longer. I think we as a culture would be better, especially Black culture, because we would want to uplift one another instead of talk shit about one another and tear each other down. Because it seems like when one of us wants to come up, there's always someone in the woodwork talking about, man, y'all see this dude over here? Man, he ain't shit. Man, I remember when he was on the block doing da-da-da. Like, why you got to bring that up? Like, what's that got to do with him trying to do something with his life?
Absolutely.
If I may issue a challenge, brothers, I'm gonna issue a challenge to y'all fellas, man, based on what was Mr. Omarr, that's it?
Yes.
What he said, man, was a beautiful thing, because again, I just told, I'm a single parent, and my son, when we got a divorce, man, his mother and we went to counseling. He did, I did as well. But this is the challenge I want to issue to y'all, brothers. Listen, man, we always use a term, streets use it all the time. Hey, what's up? How's it going? What's the deal? But when we use that, when we say that, most of the time we're not standing around to hear the answer. Most of the time when a person say to you, and it's the truth across the board now, if a person say to you, hey, how you doing? They do that in passing.
True.
No one is nowadays, very rarely is anybody, because everybody's on a TikTok right now. What, you got 15 seconds to make your move. That's it. You got your 15 seconds of fame. Yeah. When we say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? No one is really stopping to take the time to get your answer. My challenge to you, brothers, man, and your sister as well, and anybody else that's listening, man, from now on, when you say that to a person, pause for a minute. Don't say nothing. Just wait for the response. Wait for it. And see what you get. And I've learned to do that. Right now, I'm gonna tell you, because what I do now with my boys, we have dinner together. Ain't no eating in the room. Ain't no eating nowhere else. There's no phone at the dinner table. And why do I do that? Because when we come to dinner, that's our time to talk.
I do the same thing in my house. Every single night, my boys and I, we eat dinner together, and we'll put on anime or a movie or something, but we all pray together. We all sit together every single night for dinner.
That's right.
Hey, come downstairs. It's time to eat. It doesn't matter what you're doing. We all sit and eat together.
I'm gonna tell you, therapy is not always, but therapy is not always, that don't mean you gotta call a shrink. You know what I'm saying? Therapy could be just that. It could be what we doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Those group sessions. So just like I appreciate Ms. Aisha even putting this together, because now what you can do is invite a young brother along. Hey man, check this out. I want you to check out this thing I talked about the other day, man. You might want to, oh, for real? 5 or 6 brothers talking about it, and them jokers sharing some emotion. They, these boys done been in the military, they done sold dope, they done made kids, they done all this stuff for real, and they all sitting here on a commonality with each other. What's the commonality? Uplifting. I'm gonna tell you, man, it's the truth here. When you talk about building a foundation, that's really what life is all about. Life is all about that. Because I'm gonna tell you, when we always talk about growing, think of a tree, a plant. A plant grows north and south, dig it? A plant grows up and down. That's what it does.
Absolutely.
It grows up to reach its height for the sun to gain its nutrient, but it also grows down, and growing down is not just to get nutrients. It's to do what? Foundation, stability. I'm gonna tell you what, I have never seen a storm come and blow over a tree and leave the leaves intact. It don't happen. A storm will never come and blow over a tree and leave the leaves intact. Why? Because the tree must have a solid foundation. The leaves that's your aura. And I always talk to my boys about, any of y'all ever watched that video? It's a movie, it came on, it's a book also called The Secret. Anybody ever read that book before?
Yeah.
Or some video? It's a secret about what you put out into the universe is what you can expect to come back, right?
My 8-year-old is reading that right now.
I dig that. That's right. What you put out, and we do this all the time. We talk about the essence of positivity. That's what we talk about. And, back in the day, a person you'd be talking, they'd be like, man, stop talking white. Why you trying to act white?
You say that. You remember coming up and Kenny Ward was like, you saying, why you dress white?
Why you dress white?
Why? I'm like, why? Because I got on flip flops and my pants fit.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I heard that growing up my entire life. Coming from California, moving to the South. Right. I heard that my entire life because I spoke eloquently. Because I didn't speak, Ebonics, I didn't speak slang, I didn't do this. They're like, you're a white boy.
But you gotta know you gotta be able to hit that switch though, baby. You got, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you gotta be, sometimes you in that environment that you gotta do that, that's it. Sometimes you call me Carlos, sometimes you call me Chico, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's necessary for us from California to blend in. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do, though.
Hey, that's it.
There you
That's
go.
it. Hey, man, but I think though that you know, I agree with everything that the brothers that we all are saying. But I agree that we really got to start reaching back, and it's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
It's easier said than done because we do now. Not to say that we didn't play games. I tell my sons all the time, hey, we played games. We came up on Atari 2600s. You know what I'm saying? I'm 43. You know, I saw the introduction of the Nintendo. I know what that's like, the game. You know what I'm saying? The Sega. You know, I came up with the game systems before that was even a thing. But these kids nowadays, and even some of the adults, nothing wrong with an adult gamer, but some of these grown boys have a misalignment in reality. You can't hit the reset button on life, baby. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
But a lot of them thinking that hey, I can hit pause on life and give me a chance to go to the guidebooks and see, you know what I'm saying? To tell my age a little bit, we ain't got no game genie on life. ain't no game genie on life.
No.
You know,
and that's real.
Yeah, we don't have that.
So even with that being said, so now looking at it that way, I know you're saying you and Omarr spoke about being divorced. How do you're saying, what are relationship deal breakers?
Okay.
Because we about to dive in it now. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Yeah.
So with that varies based off of a multitude of things. And you guys can chime in on this. At least for me, it has to go with faith. It has to go with your drive and motivation. Like, I can't be with a woman that has no plan for retirement. You know, I'm now pushing that point where I'm already thinking about what I want to do with retirement, when I want to retire. I can't be with somebody that's just like, oh, you know, it'll happen when it happens. I'm not really, you know, too concerned about thinking about it. That goes to show me you don't think about the future and what you want to do with your life.
So what if she's somebody that's a lot younger than you?
I don't date younger than me.
Okay, all right. Hey, I'm just asking the question because I mean,
I got a span of younger than me. You know what I'm saying? There's a plus or minus. You know what I'm saying? Life is about life is about variables, baby. You know what I'm saying? Even a scale of equality rocks back and forth a little bit. Yeah, even a scale of equality.
Right there.
A scale rocks back and forth until it balances out.
I get you. I
mean, I don't want children either.
Hey, listen, man. I know some young ladies out there now that they ain't about them kids. They don't want that.
So look, the stars have aligned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You meet you a 27-year-old that don't want no kids.
Well,
that's rough.
Okay, but she has to be okay with me wanting children, my kids, because I have kids already.
Okay, I got that. I had said the stars have aligned.
Yeah.
So she don't want kids. She's okay with your kids because your kids are, you know what I'm saying, a lot older. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can fix their own bowl of cereal. She don't want to wipe no asses. So, you know what I'm saying, she's good with that. So now, she just got out of school. She got her master's. She ain't necessarily got a plan for her retirement.
As long as she
got a plan for life.
Okay, I get you, but you just said it right there. She has a plan for life, which means that you see what I mean? There's a difference between having a plan for life and not trying to think about life at all.
Right.
Okay.
If you're only thinking about, I just see what I'm doing today, but I don't see what I want to do for the future. There's a huge difference between the two.
She's a model on Instagram. I mean, what else does she need to do?
Hold on, wait. I thought we were talking about reasons to break up. What the fuck?
Hey, Instagram models get paid.
Yeah, right. And you finna go in debt trying to maintain her body too.
Not like look.
3,500 in Miami.
I have a TV show, and one of my co-hosts, she said that she was going to start an OnlyFans page. Only thing she created was the cover. You know how when you go OnlyFans, you get to see like a picture, and then it tells you if you have any videos or pictures, whatnot. All she did was create the cover of her OnlyFans, and she already got 1,500 people talking about they want to sign up and do subscriptions.
Yeah, that's it.
I quit my job right now. You got a job. What you talking about?
That's all you're getting. Every Yola. You don't even get full nipple. You just get the round.
That's it. Put a star on it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Look,
$5.99 a month, right there.
That's it.
My coworkers and I did the calculation today. If she charged $20 per person, that's $30,000 a month just for doing a couple pictures and a video. What is that?
I'm gonna tell you, man, and this is something that I'm gonna make a sexist statement. Hopefully I don't get kicked off the show for this. I'm gonna make a sexist statement, but I'm gonna tell you, I told her one young lady before. I said, you know what? You should never be broke.
Women will never be broke.
Because, and again, sex is on both sides. Sexist. All right, you ready? A man will pay for time, and we will pay for that time with the hopes that one day we will get a return on our investment. Now, to do that double-edged sword that we was talking about earlier, young ladies, if you listening, rest assured, eventually he is going to want a return on his investment.
Of course.
So don't think that you getting over on that old man and he kicking out all his money. And girl, I ain't got to give him nothing. He okay with me doing whatever. No.
It's the first
eventually.
My daughter. That's the
eventually.
First thing I taught my daughter. And she's 18. She turned 18 Tuesday.
Yeah.
The first thing I've been telling her that since she was 12.
I'm for real. Yeah.
Hey, look, see, y'all don't understand. And for what people don't understand, dudes don't pay prostitutes to fuck. They pay them to leave.
Dig it. Yep. But these young ladies now, man, they got, and you know, these old boys got the game messed up too. You know, they got the game messed up because they are doing that caking. Yeah, they are. They, you know, we used to joke about that song. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're a cake daddy, he caking. You know, old sugar daddy. But see, now remember, it used to be taboo.
It used to be. Not even girls out here. You know what I'm saying? They advertising for sugar daddy.
That's right. It used to be taboo now, but you know, you didn't want to know that. You know what I'm saying? These young ladies, remember the girl used to date. Hey, I'm gonna take you back a little bit. You remember when you was a senior in high school and you got mad at the girl you wanted to talk to because she was dating a guy out of school already?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He had that old cat with the car.
Yeah. Dude, I forgot about that shit. Like, totally.
Nah, you was mad. You was like, wait a minute, what? I'm your age.
Hold on.
He can't go to the movies with you. He can't go nowhere with you, and he can't take her nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but in that aspect,
I'm driving a Cadillac. I got money. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Nah, she ain't want us. Ain't want us.
School bus time. She didn't want that.
Nah.
You can even pick up from practice after school.
Nah. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you what the deal breaker is for me. I'm gonna tell you my deal breaker, man. It's two things. Unappreciation, and just like Omarr said, lack of motivation. Listen, I can't stand an unappreciative man, woman, or child. And my sons, man, my boys can tell you that. What is one thing that your daddy don't like? What you think your daddy hate? They'll tell you, hate is a strong word. But my daddy can't stand an unappreciative man, woman, or child. And see, nowadays, this generation, I know we do have a lot of, you know, single parents and things of that sort. You know, a lot of us came up with single parents. But when I say that I want a woman that's going to come into my household, or we're going to come together 50-50, that's not saying that I want someone we're going to come to the table and sort out every single bill, and we're going to draw a line down the middle, and we're going to divide everything by 2, and you pay your half and I pay my half. For one, that could be unfair because, you know, nowadays, my lady might make more money than I do. So that's painful on me to try to come to the table with what amount of money she making. You know what I'm saying? When I say meet me 50-50, that's meet me 50-50 emotionally, meet me 50-50 based on the family, meet me 50-50 on efforts and security. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't always going to be about, you know.
There's the catch. Stop. That's the catch right there that you just said. Meet me with the effort. that's the thing. Us as fellas, we always have to put in all the work.
Yeah.
We're the first ones that we're the ones who have to step to the ladies to introduce ourselves. We have to step to the ladies to ask out on a date. We have to show the ladies that our intent, that we want them as our queens and everything else, while they're just sitting back for a free meal or for, you know, whatever the case. So
checking the box, I see you.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
We're the ones who are always having to put in the extra, go the extra mile. And so it's at what point are we going to get the effort to show that you want us in return?
There you go.
At what point in this?
Do you mean like women as
I
a
see
whole,
you boiling right now.
entirety, or like the woman you're dating?
No, so it's like this. All right, so say you decided that you met a woman and you liked her, right? You wanted to show her that you were feeling her. So you
So
tell
the woman
you.
I'm dating, yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, okay.
I
mean, it could be the first. Yeah, it could be the woman you're dating, but it can also be the woman that you just met.
Right.
Either way,
I don't know. I don't think that's fair. I mean, like, I don't know, bro. I guess because I like being single too much that I don't care enough to. If I don't get that back, then I'm cool with not fucking with her no more. I just won't pursue her no more.
But see, that's what we're saying though. At what point should the woman actually start showing effort back to us where we're not doing all the work? You see what I mean? I would say that you guys would have the same opinion.
But that's not on me to decide that. Like, I can
using that analogy.
Using
an analogy like
but you're thinking about being single.
Huh?
Yeah.
You like being single. At your age, you like, you know what I'm saying? Brandon, you like, you know what I'm saying?
You
cool, and there's nothing against it. Yeah. No, I'm saying you cool.
More older than us.
How old are you?
No, I'm saying not age as in years. At the age in life, you ready. You like being single. You just said it.
Well, I mean, I've been with a woman
You
for 10 years. We got 2 kids together. Like, I've had relationship before that and after. It's just like, I just don't see the now. I don't see the point in it right now.
It's not age stage at his stage in life.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. You like where you are. So yeah, and that's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's the part that again, like we were talking about the self-reflection and understanding, because what some of us do is we pretend it's good. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly what you want out of a relationship or that woman per se. When you all come together, you know exactly what you want out of it. See, a lot of times we pretend that we want something for the sake of getting it. And then the truth come out.
Oh yeah, I've been.
And when that comes out,
yeah,
and you know what I'm saying? So the thing is, people always talk about being honest. Say what you want up front. Well, no, because no one, when I first meet someone, no one is saying, hey, you know what? I just want to lay up with you for the first night, get some, and go about my business. Very rarely is anyone having that kind of conversation.
Right.
Very
rarely. Those conversations happen. I mean, you might need to get out of the house a little more.
Yeah, no. Yeah, come on, I get that, but
I love those conversations.
You might want to get out of the house a little more.
I know that there's I know that there's some that only want that night. But I'm saying you're usually, if you see a young lady in the mall and you catch an eye, chances are when you ask her out, hey, what hey, I wouldn't mind chatting over. What you doing later on? She's not gonna say to you, well, I ain't doing nothing later on, but I wouldn't mind just getting you something tonight, and that's it. Very rarely is a person having it,
thinking that anyway.
You took too long. Look, she didn't like your elevator pitch.
That she should.
She didn't like your elevator pitch.
Man, I ain't got no, ain't got no problems, no problem.
She already made up her mind, guess or no, and she gonna stop
tonight. You're not saying that to say that she right?
Hey, but that's true. It's been proven. They say that a woman knows if she gonna sleep with you 10 seconds after seeing you. Yeah.
No, she know. She 5 steps ahead of you already. You just catching up.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. I believe that.
So technically.
Yeah, I believe that. But we the same way though. You know how far you will go with one way before,
Okay, so again, how much time do you invest into somebody? You know what I mean? Effort, phone calls, text messages, paying for dates, how much time do you invest in her before you're like, you know what? Why is it I'm the only one who's texting you?
At that point,
I think that's early.
My investment stops at that point. Once you feel that way, there's no limit.
If you gotta ask, you done went too long already.
Once I tell myself that the first time, that's no more. Like, you know, it's just, fuck that.
Yeah,
that
if you gotta,
y'all told me this the whole night. That's for real. That goes both ways. Give yourself the self effort. Like, believe in your feelings the first time. If she really digging me like that, if you feel like she not, then fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
I absolutely agree with you. But
don't even
I agree
with
with you.
Do that shit because you like her. Like, fuck that, bro.
Right.
No, I agree with you. I do. No argument. But you realize, like, you do a survey and you'll ask a lot of these women, you know, oh, so would you pay for a date on? Oh, no, I wouldn't pay for a date until, you know, we're in a relationship, or we're not in a relationship until.
Yeah, but that's too textbook, man. You can't be believed. That's too textbook. That's way too textbook. Actual practice, that's way too like how to be a player, read this book type shit. That's way too the game. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. You're like women, like you have to pick and choose your battles correctly. You don't just you don't get to get her because you think she's attractive and you tried her and you took her out because you courted her. That's why it's called courting her. You're trying it. It's a trial. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Fuck it. You don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like,
all right.
So Omarr, you had a question for Asia.
Yes. So Asia, I got a question for you. I'm bringing you in on topic, so this way you can be a part of it. All right. So we can get your viewpoint. So why is it that if a man says, I'm single until I get married, it's a problem, and people think that he just wants to hold himself out. He just wants to be out there in the streets, try to get as much kitty as possible. But when a woman says the exact same thing, it's okay. She's just biding her time. She's making the right choice, trying to find the right man that's going to be with her for the rest of her life. Why is that?
You know, it's still equally as hard to answer this time.
Go ahead, Asia.
Crickets.
Fire minds want to know.
I feel like it's 6 and I somehow got an answer for all women.
Right now.
Why is it okay? I don't know. Like, I don't know that it is okay. First of all, let me say that. I don't know that it's okay on either side. I get it. You know what I mean? I can understand why women say that, because I mean, shit, I've said it. You know what I mean? I can understand that feeling of like, I'm not going to, because a lot of times the expectation is that when you meet someone, you're supposed to lock yourself into that situation. And somebody who's like me, who's already been married, divorced, I don't want to do that until I'm 100% sure that this is where I want to be. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that it's okay for you ladies to have multiple men until one of those men decides to say, I want you as my wife.
I don't necessarily need you to tell me that you want me as your wife.
No, like he actually proposes to you. You're saying that you can date multiple men, you can be with multiple men until one of them proposes, and it's okay. But if a man has hope,
I think that's a very extreme version of that statement. First of all, I feel so much pressure right now. I think that's a very extreme version of that statement.
You should.
But our minds want to know.
My Wi-Fi started messing up. Everything. Like, I don't know what just happened, but I feel like that's a very extreme view on that statement.
It's the truth.
I feel like it is absolutely okay to date multiple people until you decide to get into a committed relationship with someone. I'm not saying that you got to be married to that person, you know what I mean? Like, But I 100% believe that it is absolutely okay to date multiple people until someone on your, let me use my favorite analogy. I like to have players on the team, okay? I like my starting five.
You got a bench.
I like my starting five, okay? Now, if any of these men decide they want, now there's levels to this shit. You got your quarterback, you got your running back, you got different people for different shit. Now,
from basketball,
I know. That's all. I'm like, wait a minute. I started
Are you gonna let me finish?
Yeah, we got 5 and 11.
Are you gonna let me finish?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hey, get the sports right, but you
So
gotta get the sports right.
I'm 100% okay with the starting five. Now, just because I have a starting five does not mean I'm sleeping with all 5. It just means that there are 5 people circulating in my stratosphere. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if any of these men decide that they wanted to be a team owner, then I have no problem getting rid of the squad. But until then, I'm gonna keep trading these motherfuckers in and out until somebody decides that they want to be a team.
So you like to play 21. You like to play 21 until you can get a one-on-one game going.
Thanks. And my thing is, the difference is I'm honest. The difference is I'm not lying, I'm not lying to anyone saying you're the only person that I'm seeing.
I think that's the key element right there.
Yeah,
that's the key
as long
element
as you're being honest and you're letting people know, yes, I'm dating other people. Yes, you ain't got to know the specifics. But yes, I'm dating other people. I have no problem with you dating other people. If you decide you want to take this to another level, then we can talk about it and we can figure that out. But as long as I'm being honest and I'm not taking any of their choices away by not painting the full picture, then I don't think it's a problem.
Okay.
And I don't have the flip side of that is I don't have the fucking expectation that when I meet a man and we're just talking, that suddenly he dropped his whole roster because he thought I had a pretty face. No, that's stupid. That would be dumb.
But there are women out there that have that expectation.
And they stupid.
Say that again.
And they're stupid because if you didn't have that conversation, then the only person that you fooling is yourself. A man is going to tell you what he wants, when he want it, how he want it. He's not going to
say a person is going to tell you, not just a man.
Yeah, but I'm saying the thing is women talk between, we've said this before, women talk between the lines. Men don't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like where women, I believe, and y'all are the experts on this, but I believe where women set themselves up is they create a story and then there's the reality, right? So they create this narrative where they're like, oh no, like he said that he only want to kick it, but that's not really what he wants. He really wants this. Or if I do enough of this or that or this, then I can change his mind and he's going to want more from me. No, bitch, he said, I just want to kick it. And until he says, no, I want more than that, he don't want more than that. So I don't have the expectation when I meet a dude or I'm talking to somebody that suddenly like, you cleared your roster? No, because I ain't clear mine. But I'm different. I'm probably not the female that you should be asking these questions.
No, but I mean, no, that is a very honest, that is a very pure-hearted, honest answer. That you are, air quote, single technically, until somebody locks you down and says, I want you as mine, period. You hold a roster, you got a team, and you run it until somebody decides they don't want you to be with nobody else.
Yeah, and that's what's up. So now dealing with that, you know what I'm saying, now that you done, you know what I'm saying, broke their heart. Fellas, how do y'all deal with that breakup trauma? You know what I'm saying? It was nice talking to you, Asia. You know what I'm saying? It was nice. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, fellas. You know what I'm saying?
Did I just get kicked off my own fucking platform? Sorry.
No. Hey, thank you for your call and your answer. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But how do we as men deal with breakup trauma? Because you know what I'm saying, or those emotions that come with that. I'm saying
now.
us. I'm not saying. I'm not saying. Now, not as you saying, not then. Now, not then.
Now.
Not then.
Okay.
We are emotionally.
Because
Emotionally mature.
He said the mature
right.
version of himself. Yes, he he's back to the mature version of himself.
That's
he wants
right.
that answer.
Okay, I'm gonna take. Cause boy, listen, I tell you
look,
what.
You said run 9 miles from work. No.
Hey. Back in the day, all y'all wasn't. Hey, everybody's guilty. No, all right, check it out. So I have this saying. I had a conversation with one of my younger brothers. I told him that you can't give yourself to anyone else until you've gathered all of yourself. And that's really what tends to happen. And a lot of times we don't do that. And a lot of music now. What's that little song that girls say? The best way to get over somebody, get up on me. You know what I'm saying? Get up onto someone else. See that this music gets into your psyche and you start reacting that way. That's not true, because we still have people that are out there that you've still attached yourself to.
Right.
And then you're trying to now go into another relationship and, but you still looking out the corner of your eye. You still got text messages that you never deleted. You still, soul surfing through the Facebook page to see what they got going on. Nah, man. So the way Carlos gets down now, and that's it. I simply came to a conclusion that I had to first gather myself before I can give myself to anybody else. Now, I understand what we talked about earlier with the roster, but after my divorce, I came to the conclusion. I told you, Nasty, and I told, some other friends, I said that the next young lady that I decide to get involved with or talk to, if she's nice looking, anything like that, if I ask her, hey, are you seeing someone? If she tells me anything other than no, all I was going to do was finish that conversation. That was it. I wasn't going to entertain, well, I got friends, or, I'm talking to someone. No, because again, at the age that I am in my life, not years, but just the age, or let's use that stage. Let's use that one. The stage I'm in my life right now, man, I ain't got no time to be continuing playing this field.
Yeah, because the next girl you fall in love, the next girl you meet, you thought you fall in love with, you plan to be with them for the rest of your life. At this stage.
At this stage, yeah, because I'm at this stage, I'm looking to build. Yeah. This stage,
that's why I treat it like that. Because the next girl I fall in love with, that's gonna be my woman for till I get old as fuck. That's why I don't take that shit lightly. That's why I don't believe in that. You ain't got no effing fuck you. Like, okay, still, I have a goal. This is what's gonna happen. You don't have to. You can be with it or not. Be here or not. That's what I'm gonna do. So if somebody comes into that little web or whatever and make me fall in love with them while I'm doing those goals, you better be with me. You're gonna be with me. So I treat it like that. That shit is serious, boy.
That's why now I believe in the dating and the courting and then the marriage. I believe in those stages like the old folk used to. You date to get to know a person to see if you want to court them. After you court them, then you can marry them. And and once you marry them, you have to continue to court throughout that marriage. Why? Because the person that I courted at 55 is different at 65.
And you know something, Carlos? People don't know that separation, bruh. Yeah. That's exactly right. People don't know the difference between dating and courting. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So people get in that part where they're spending more money than they should on a woman, expecting more. Like, what are you doing, bro? You treating her like your girlfriend, my nigga. Like, how you getting mad at her because she ain't doing this? No. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's correct. That's exactly right. You're exactly right, real. That's exactly right. People need to hear that more often. Grown-ups like us who take care of their lives. There's men out here who are financially stable who get fucked over because of that shit. They think because they have money, it's okay to spend it. No, it's not. No. It's not okay. Because you got it, don't mean you spend it, bro. Yeah. This woman has money too. This is why you like her, because she's able to take care of, she's a woman, she's on the same level you on. That's what the attraction, that's what it's there for. Right. It's exactly right. You're exactly right. I totally agree with that. Well said, sir. Appreciate it. Mike.
High five, boy. We did it. We did it.
Well, I guess you're saying, but I mean, I got one more question for you. You're saying now, for where we are now, then I think you're saying
I got two daughters. They come, they're here all the time. Okay. I just left
Yeah.
I don't want to make me hear when I was doing this stuff.
Okay, with all of us having kids now, what changed to advance your emotional maturity, and how, you know what I'm saying, does that impact your, you know what I'm saying, and how you raise your kids?
I kind of had a cheap head start because I've been a teacher for over a decade, and I just recently stopped teaching in 2012. So I have been working with kids for a long time before I even had kids. Like my children's mother is also a teacher, like, you know, so I mean, I'm glad I have 2 daughters too. But what I remember, what really sticks out the most is my father. We were living together. His reactions were always anger. You know, I remember everything I did. He reacted with, if he didn't like it, he reacted like he was mad. And I remember how it made me feel. And when I go to my kids, I don't do it back because I remember those yelling and feelings.
Okay,
that's definitely important to me.
For me, my sperm donor was never around. Like, he bailed before I was even born. I think I met him once ever for like 2 hours. But I had solid Black men in my family. So my grandfather, he was there. He was the first Black LAPD officer. You know, he was a Army Ranger that did, you know, those covert ops stuff, you know, that nobody knows about. So he was that strong person. I have my dad, you know, the man who raised me. You know, I have my uncles. So I have these strong Black figures where I was able to look upon them to know the kind of father I wanted to be. And my sperm donor not being around, I knew the kind of father I wanted to be because of him. You know, I wasn't going to be absent. I wasn't going to be not nurturing. I wasn't going to be, you know, that father where my kids have tournaments and they have games and I'm always saying, oh, I'm sorry, son, I got to work. You know, I'll make it to the next one. You know, oh, I'm sorry. I know I promised you, but I knew I wasn't going to be that kind of dad. So, I mean, having those experiences growing up made me be the father that I am today.
That's what's up. And how do
fight my kids?
You say you fight your kids. Hey, sometimes you gotta fight your kids.
That's
sometimes
right.
You gotta fight your kids. Sometimes in all honesty, I mean, you get them boys that get up and, you know, they want to get at their age and think they can, you know, saying nothing square up with you. You gotta fight your kids sometimes.
That's right.
Oh, facts. Facts.
Facts, sons. Oh, I've treated my dad like that. I know exactly what y'all talking about.
Yeah, you got, you know,
so,
yeah.
So with all that being said, how do we, as you saying, now, because like I said, me and Carlos, we've been friends for what, almost 37, 38 years.
Yeah, I don't know when we started. I can't think back to when we weren't friends. You know what I'm saying? When we wasn't.
Yeah, it's like
that's
we've been friends that long.
Yeah. I can't recall a moment in my life when he wasn't there. You know, he started before school and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
So we've been friends for forever, longer than that. But outside of having that friendship, how do we now cultivate this type of relationship? Because I know Brandon was like, you know, saying at this stage, like, I got all the friends I'm gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Your acquaintance now. So how do we cultivate? You know what I'm saying, that you know what I'm saying, I don't know, a stronger male bond. So now that us as mature males can pull up these younger males on that emotional maturity to where we are.
Gotta kick them in the ass.
Fight them. That's what it is. That's it. You gotta fight them.
I mean, you gotta fight them, man. Like, cause these little kids these days, man. I had a kid. His mom used to come and ask me, you know, when they didn't have no place to stay, they were sleeping in the car and stuff. Like, yo, can we stay with you for a little while? And I was like, no problem. You know what I'm saying? 5 kids and her in my 2-bedroom, plus my kids, right? That's a lot of kids in one house. And this little disrespectful motherfucker decided to tell me, fuck you, nigga. I wanted to punch him in his fucking face. There was no other, there's no other recourse. I just want to punch you in your shit because you really think like you putting yourself in a grown man situation and you have no clue because your daddy wasn't there. But you would disrespect the nigga that would house you.
Right.
But the fact you didn't just have that innate just come out of you, you know how you just all of a sudden just react, before you even think about it, your fist just ends up coming out. I have to give you props.
He's gonna have to eat that one. He was gonna have to, well, his mama saved him. And and I told her,
okay.
Well, mother's gonna save her child, because he was in danger of dying. And
yeah, right.
I told her, I said, you gonna let him talk to me like that? She kind of looked at him like, you're not supposed to talk to him like that. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
That's not how it's supposed to go down.
No. I was like, you can never, ever bring him around me again. Like, and then had the audacity to say, well, I think y'all should just apologize. I'm not gonna apologize.
Yeah, nah.
See,
that's where I go back to.
I apologize because there's no fucking way in hell. Like, I don't. If I didn't do it, like, it was a movie I was watching. The guy said, I think it was Denzel. He was like, I don't run unless I'm being chased. It was Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie, by the way.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That was really good for Black Power and white power at the same time.
It's a great power. But
people power.
People power. But even with that being said, that's why I go back to, kids raising kids. Because, and I was telling somebody maybe even a few weeks ago, that at our age, even coming through high school, I think it was 2 pregnant teenagers going through,
Yeah.
We had it in high school, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And then whoever made it okay for teenagers to be in high school pregnant and making that a thing, they just, now you got these kids. The village gets separated because now you got these kids like, hey, don't hit my child. Hey, I don't want to be hit, so I'm not going to have you hit my child. So now you got the kids at the school fighting the principal because the principal tried to, discipline your child.
Right.
Because that used to be a thing. Uncle, don't touch my child. Don't talk to him like, like that. Grandparents, don't talk to your child like that.
Kids, I remember that paddle though.
I remember it too. Hey, kids raising kids. I remember, coming home with my uncle, getting my ass beat. My aunt, she was in the same house getting my ass beat.
And
my grandma picked me up, got my ass beat. I remember those days. So now you don't have that even if it's not. So take out the corporal punishment. These people and people in general, kids, don't want you talking to their kids. You can see a kid, robbing the bank. You know what I'm saying? Hey son, you might want to put that money back. Why the fuck you talking to my child like that?
Right.
The nigga commit the Quran.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I tell them all the time, I beat my kids so that the police don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I beat my kids so the police don't have to.
Say that. No, say that one more time, a little bit louder.
So the police don't have to. That was
That's
very
right.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the truth, man.
Yes.
That's
Can we
the truth,
put that
man.
on a shirt, please?
Yeah.
Can we please put that on a shirt?
I'll take 2 larges, please.
That's the truth, man. That's the
No,
truth.
it is. No, it is.
It's
the absolute truth.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, I appreciate the ass whoopings I got from my parents because I'm damn near 40 and I'm still terrified of my mama.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. And she distinctively put that fear in me because it made me not want to do stupid shit that was going to make my mama come up to the school to embarrass me in front of everybody. Go to the jail and get embarrassed. Yes. So I absolutely believe my sons right now, out of respect, they fear me out of respect, but it's because I love them with that fear and that honor and that respect that I give to them.
Yeah.
So
a child should have a healthy amount of fear for their parents.
Damn right.
Hands down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they know you ain't just hitting them just because you mad. You dig what I'm saying?
No.
They know you doing it. The average child know when they done messed up.
Well, before I would start to spank my child, before I used to beat my child, I would explain to them. I would sit them down. I would ask them, do you know why you're getting a whipping?
Yeah.
And sometimes they would tell me no, and then I had to break it down to them like, well, you chose to do wrong, knowing what the right thing to do was. You know what I'm saying? So instead of you choosing to do the right thing, you chose to do the wrong thing, and that causes me to have to punish you. So that's why you get this whooping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the whooping will commence, you know, of course. But it's like
kids these days, they don't fear consequence. I feel that kids these days, they don't fear consequence because the consequence, not what that in some aspect too.
They want to hit that reset button, that game mentality, man. They got that video game mentality.
And then you think the consequence, hey, it's time out.
Oh,
you know hell no. If I had to sit in the corner, if I had to sit in the corner when I was younger and that was it, after I done took the ass whooping and you said I got to sit in the corner, fuck your corner.
No, yes, thank you. Yeah, what was that? What was it? The count to 10? What? I'm gonna count to 10, and if you don't stop by the time I get to 10, then
no, you had too much time.
Yeah, countdown.
You had way too much time. you had too much time.
I better not get the one, motherfucker.
Right.
Come out of nowhere.
Look, my mama threw a Bible at me. So let's not. I'm talking about the family Bible, the one that sit on the table.
Yes, yep.
My mom is a Golden Gloves boxer. That's hands down. My mom didn't whoop
Yeah.
My mom is 5'3". I am 6'2".
Yeah.
That still put fear in my heart. You hear me?
That's right.
Yep.
I would not.
It's a healthy amount of fear that every child should have for their parents.
There was, I remember two things about my mom. Well, one thing about my mom and then a story. So one thing about my mom that I still hold dear today is because nowadays kids will say, I'm gonna call the cops if you touch me, da-da-da-da. I remember my mom once said she heard some kids telling their parents that, and she's like, boy, let me tell you real quick. You ever call the cops, you better pray they get here before I get my hands on you. Because I promise you, they're going to have a reason to arrest me if they don't get here before I get to you.
That had to be like a hotline. That had to be like the underground Bible or something like that.
My son said that. My son said that. And he said that.
You will be asleep when the police get here. I promise you that. I promise you'll be asleep when they get here.
Come back, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah. I promise you that you'll be taking a nap when the police get here. I promise you.
Yeah.
You holding on to the phone.
The best sleep of my life. Best sleep of my life. I haven't slept that well since then. I ain't gonna
let me throw something at y'all fellas though. So what if and you know, nowadays it's real slim for you to date a young lady that don't have kids already.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So how do y'all handle
being that disciplinary?
I
knew that's what you were saying.
How do y'all handle, you know, and I'm gonna hold my 2 cents until y'all give y'all 20 cents. You know what I'm saying? So how do y'all handle that?
I personally believe that a woman can only discipline my kids once we've gotten married. Once we've gotten married, at that point, she has earned that right because she is now my wife. She's not my girlfriend.
Right.
You know, she's not just some chick I'm just dating. She is actually my wife.
Now, what you mean discipline? You saying put hands on?
Yeah, in this topic, discipline is like the topic, so there's way more to it than just that.
Right. I'm saying now. Right. Well, discipline. I ain't talking about just whooping. I mean, you know.
Yeah, discipline. In general, even like stupid shit to big shit.
Yeah.
So as far as like spanking stuff like that.
No, not just discipline. Don't even go that far. Just discipline.
The measure of the crime, you know.
Right. Okay, yeah. So depending. All right. So yeah. So the measure, yes, discipline across the board. I believe if she's my wife, yes, she can discipline.
Right.
Now, mind you, I mean, at this point, my kid is. I have a 1-year-old and an 8-year-old. Those are my 2 youngest.
Yeah.
So the only one that. So technically, at that point, there won't be really any to discipline. Because my 8-year-old at that, I mean, I don't know when I'll ever get married again, but at that point, my 8-year-old is going to be grown and too big to, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as grounding, yes, she has that right to discipline whatever the level is because she is my wife. That is her way of also putting those boundaries so they respect her as well. That's what discipline does. It gives you that sense of respect for that person.
Is the other mother still in the picture?
In general, oh, you talking to him, or are you saying in reference to my question?
I mean, in reference to your question, is the other mother still in the picture? I mean, if the other mother's still in the picture, I don't really feel the need that the woman that I'm dating needs to really chastise them in any kind of way. Like, if they're doing something out of like, they do something disrespectful to her, it's up to her to come let me know. She needs to let me know, because I need to be the one checking that. They need to know from me as the source of discipline, hey, look, there will be no disrespect going on toward this one right here, because this is the one that helps me do what I need to do for y'all. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's why you just said dating. You didn't say wife. You said dating. There's a big difference between dating and wife.
Yeah, you're not married yet.
I mean,
you're not married yet.
Right,
You're just dating.
Oh, hell no. Oh, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with him. He just said dating, so I agree with him 100%. He's right.
Yeah, so dating, don't touch them. You know what I'm saying?
No, you ain't gotta touch them.
You don't gotta be touching. That's not what he's saying.
Right.
I know.
He's not any level.
You said on any level. I'm saying on one particular level. I understand the rest of the level, like grounding, timeout. Give me your phone. You can't talk on your phone. Go in your room and read a book for an hour because you didn't.
Okay, how about this? Let's say one of your youngest son does something disrespectful to your girlfriend. Is she allowed to say something to him at that moment, or does she have to call you first?
Yeah, she's like, as I said, go to your room. I'm gonna call your dad. You know what I'm saying?
She can. That's what I'm saying. So like, that's what he asked.
That's just
like that. Is she allowed to say anything? Like,
that's what I said. She's allowed to.
Okay.
If I'm dating, like I've had people that I've dated like babysit before. You know what I mean? So it's like I've done that. I've done that route. So yeah.
Cause I've seen some of the girls be like, wait, hold on, you don't talk to my child. You don't tell my child. You tell, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Wait a minute, your badass kid.
Right. And I'm not gonna, again, because I'm now.
Yeah.
So I had a talk with, in a relationship. I had I conversed with a person. I told him, at any point, if you're dealing with me, I'm not gonna tell your child anything wrong. You pretty much know if I'm not gonna tell your child anything wrong. The first time that you challenge me on making a correction with your child, we're done. And they be like, wait a minute, that's far. No, because I got a choice. I ain't got to be with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to.
Right.
But I really have a true choice. If you and I are gonna be together, then we both need to establish
playing this for long term. Yeah.
That's right. Because that again, I'm at that stage in my life now.
Stage,
So whatever the age that your child is, again, I'm not gonna tell them anything wrong. I don't care if it's, hey, we eat dinner here. No phones at the table. Listen, I told you no phones at the table. So why you got a phone at the table?
You're right. Yes.
So what? Listen, we do it at my house. So why you saying something to him? Well, okay, I'll tell you what. The next meal you have, y'all can have it at your house. You ain't gotta worry about it.
And look, Carlos, you're right, because I was with a woman for 10 years, bro. I was with him for 10 years, dog. Like, keep in mind, like, we were just on and off for 3 years. Then we had kids. We decided to have a relationship because we had kids together. Anyway, fast forward, this is a true fucking story. When we first moved in together, we had all the furniture in the house. We had, it was straight. But the dining room table, we never really used like that. So it was like for mail, whatever else you threw in that motherfucker when you walked in the house. That's what it was for. My oldest daughter, when she was like 4, she broke it accidentally trying to climb on there or whatever like that, right? So we bought another one. We bought a table. Obviously, we had to clear the area of space out. All of a sudden, after the dining room being like this way for like 4 or 5 years, now it looks like an actual dining room now. Hey, let's sit down and eat. Let's sit down and eat. So we go to sit down and eat. We cook. She cooks some food or whatever like that. It's getting ready. I'm teaching my oldest daughter Cameron how to set the table. Put the plates down. The fork goes on the left, the knife goes on the right, stuff like that. We sit at the table together. We start eating food. I start showing Cameron how to use a knife instead of her thumb to get macaroni into the plate. This is the first time we ate at the table.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 4, like in our entire family life, because this is how we came into the apartment like that at the time. So that's the first time we're doing that. So I'm showing her how to eat it. I'm showing Mackenzie. She's 1 year old. She's doing it. She fucking it up. Whatever. She's trying. The children's mother, she finished washing her hands. She comes sit at the table. She sit down. She start eating her food. She gets her macaroni and she uses her thumb to put the food into the fork, right? I don't say anything. It's not my place to chastise her in front of the kids. I don't do that. Cameron says, Mommy, Daddy said don't put your food on your plate. You need to use your knife. She says to me, so now we eating like white people, is what she said to me, right?
Oh.
I'm in the story right there because it got worse than that. I'm in the story right there because what you're talking about are values. And that means way more to me than anything else when I get with a woman. If we value same things as a family, as a parent, we don't value the same things. You are absolutely right, Carlos. I'm out, bro. I'm out. That's 100% correct. I'm out. Fuck that shit. And when it happened between us, we still stayed together about 2 years, about maybe like 3 years after that, because that's like last year. So yeah, about 3 years after that. But that's when I first realized what family values means in a relationship. I had never lived with a woman for this long. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh shit. Yeah. She wasn't raised to like, or eat, not even that. She's not even classy enough to eat with a knife and fork. In my mind, I value that type shit. I don't want to put my fucking hands on my plate. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna go to a restaurant and be like with our thumbs and shit, looking like some fucking animals. You know what I mean? So I teach my daughters that. You know what I'm saying? I have little girls. They need to look classy. You know what I mean? Shit like that. You know, it just shocked me because I never knew this about this girl. You know, I never knew that. And it just started going into deeper realms of, she didn't grow up with her dad and all this other shit about men that she totally didn't give a fuck about because she didn't see what a valued man looked like. She had no idea what a good black man looked like. She had no idea. So everything I did was me talking down on her. I give her advice. I'm talking down on her. It was something like that. And I didn't understand those things prior to. I put a seed in her. You know what I mean? These are things I didn't think about prior to being a parent. Now that I am, and what you said, you hit the nail on the head, man. You're right. Values mean way more to me if I'm going to be with a woman who has kids as well. So
I feel you. You got that.
Point you made, sir.
So, fellas, it's safe to say,
I enjoyed it. I love surrounding myself with positivity, man. I dig that.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? We try to keep it positive around here. Positive and, I'm saying, entertaining. Positive entertainment.
That's right.
Am I allowed to talk now?
All right, Miss.
Like being in the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? Remember that? You used to go to the barbershop and get your advice.
So you see, I did my accent just for Jewel. I said, am I allowed to speak now? Can I talk? Can I interject?
Yeah.
Pardon me, man.
Thank you. No, I want to thank all of you guys. You guys are so dope. Like, oh my God. I really wish I had like 6 single friends who weren't crazy.
Hey, I got a question we got to get off right now?
What happened?
You ready for it, fellas? And you, ma'am, I need it.
Okay.
Does platonic relationships exist?
Yes. Easily.
Yeah.
Now, does platonic relationships exist, or is only one person really platonic and the other person is just buying time until they get their chance?
No.
Platonic relationships absolutely exist, but I give you an example. Jewel, me and you have been friends for like 11 years. Like 11 years, right? Yeah, 11 years. Ew. Yep. Jewel is, what did you call me? A Mr. Potato Head, right? And I call you he's my Ken doll to my Barbie. We have no parts. Like,
there you go.
That is a strictly, John is the same thing. Like, we have a strictly, you know what I mean? And I've known John since I was 14. So we have a strictly platonic.
I know her baby since they was like 4 or 5, and she's known my baby since she was 8.
Younger than that. Jalea was like a couple of months old when we met. So absolutely. It just has to, you can, like, you know how you said earlier how like a woman knows, you know what I mean? But there are some people that you come across where it just, that connection instantly feels very familial.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not one of those things where it's like you're ever gonna cross that line because.
But see, I feel that even if you do cross the line later, that it still was a platonic relationship in the beginning, because, you know what I'm saying? You might, and the reason why I asked you is because I had a talk with another young lady who feels that the woman can always be that platonic thought process. That as a man, he always has an ulterior motive. And I'm telling her, no, that is not the case. Every man is not trying to sleep with every woman that he sees that's cute. That's not the case. You know, now hey, if I decide,
girls do the same shit to us.
I know, I agree. I agree. Right. But if 10 years later, I done went through a lot of relationships and you done went through a lot of relationships, and one day we sitting there talking, and you know, I say, you know what? Everything that I've been looking for is actually
right here.
In you. I didn't want you last week. You know, I really didn't. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't, like, you know how that people say I didn't know that I needed something until I needed it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And that's real, like, yo, you've been there this whole time and I never saw you that way. Well, you know what? Shoot.
I've been there. I've definitely been there too. I believe I believe that it is necessary for you to have strictly platonic relationships with people of the opposite sex because you need perspective. But I also can say from personal experience, I've literally never dated someone that I was not friends with first. Like I've never dated. No, I take that back. That my husband, and we see how that turned out. So outside of that, all my other relationships, I was always
not to be friends first. I prefer not to be friends.
No, it was always a homeboy. It was always somebody that was like, you know, kind of like in the circle. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, we was like hardcore chilling all the time. Okay. But it would always be like somebody like in the circle, somebody I was cool with, it was chilling with, it would hang with, and it would kind of be like, oh, I see you, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm also able to have, I have relationships with most of them now. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like, we're cool, we're friends. I've gone to weddings and baby showers and all of those things because we had foundation before anything. So when the relationship fell apart, eventually after some healing, we could fall back onto that foundation.
After some healing, I dig that. Yeah.
I'm gonna say you got to heal. You got to heal.
But no, you gotta have platonic relationships.
That emotional, like, that emotional immaturity to be able to do that.
Yeah, I can do that now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like now that and then also too, I got married really young. So you cannot hold the behaviors of someone you dated at 17 against them at 35. You know what I mean?
Can you get new platonic? You can have new platonic friendships now? Yeah. Let's say now that we older and you know, you in a relationship and I can go out and meet a new woman friend.
Yeah, now. Like I'm not built like that. To me, women know each other.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, women know each other the same way men know each other. Like my ex-husband, I never had an issue with him having female friends. You know what I mean? It was, I mean, now mind you, he was fucking a lot. Yeah. That's neither here nor there. Yeah. I never had like an overt like issue with him having female friends. I would just always say, I can tell when that woman comes around me, how she sees him.
So it's not really platonic on his end then.
I got a question.
Well, I mean, like there was some
on her end.
Yeah, it wasn't platonic on her end. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, or it was because you can tell that. You can tell as a woman, just like men can read other men, women can read other women. And I can tell when a woman came around that he brought around, somebody he was cool with. I always knew. I always was like, no, that ain't the one. And it wasn't about being jealous. It would be like, why she won't make eye contact with me? Why she always giving me, you know what I mean? She got a little attitude whenever she see me. Why is she calling you at 2:00 in the morning to come and save her? You get what I'm saying? Like it would be certain
friends. That's her man. That's her homeboy.
That's her homeboy, but some things is habitual line stepping.
I got a question.
2:00 in the morning. I'm a homeboy.
Right. So you cool with your man having female friends. But was there ever a line in the sand that she was not permitted to cross, as in, or he wasn't? Like, are they allowed to go out to dinner together as friends? Are they allowed to go shoot pool together as friends?
For dating? No, not for dating.
Listen.
And see, I'm built different. I'm built different than that too.
Yeah,
Because I wouldn't have an
as
issue
you
with
can see, like I have a lot of men I've always had a lot of men around me. So I cannot set an expectation for you that I am not willing to follow myself. You know what I mean? So I could have a man, but that's not going to stop me from going to have lunch with Jewel. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's my responsibility to respect the boundaries of my relationship.
Agreed.
He could try me all he want, but the only person responsible for the sanctity of my situation is me. So if I choose to cross that line, I'm gonna cross that line whether he sets the standard or not.
I've said that.
Wait, but if he try you, you're not gonna like not go hang out with him no more?
If he tries me, knowing that because see, but if you're supposed to be my friend and you know that I'm in a relationship,
and if he try you,
and
that's it.
Try me,
cross that boundary line.
Right.
As your man, don't hang with him no more if he try you. Okay, man.
Even with me and Asia, we automatically started to click. And I met Job, whatnot. I made it my business to state my purpose as far as with her husband. We smoke weed and everything together, whatnot. Because I didn't want that man to be like, yo, I'm over his wife or anything like that. No,
right.
Of course not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But see, that right there goes to show a true friend, because in whether man or woman, if you're married or in a committed relationship and you do have a best friend or a really tight friend of the opposite sex, yes, you as the man or woman in the relationship need to introduce that person to your partner to say, hey, look, this is my homeboy Jules. This is my homeboy. This is my homeboy. This is my homegirl. You know, we go back. Hey, I want to introduce you all so that comfort level is there and
because they're gonna be at the wedding
and your friend.
No, I 100% believe in that and I also believe that like when I have a male friend, first of all, we don't do no secret friendships. You know what I mean? If I have a male friend, then it is my responsibility to make his significant other feel safe with me, feel comfortable.
He's your friend, not my friend though. He's your friend, not our friend.
Yeah, but I'm like for me, I'm like with my home, because women are catty. So with my homeboys, if you got a girl, there's certain things I'm not finna do. Like I don't call you after a certain time of night. Like somebody got to be dead, dying, or something on fire. You the only one I can get to. I'm not calling you after a certain time of night. That's violation. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna make sure that your girl knows who I am. I'm gonna make sure that I'm respectful of her and her space and her place in your life. I'm always gonna do my best to make her feel comfortable. And I ain't finna get in the middle of none of y'all mess. You know what I mean?
But see, here's the thing with that, your man has to make sure that his female friends are in check to know, hey, look, I need you all to respect my relationship and don't call after a certain time. He has to put them in check.
But he really shouldn't have to say that. It's his friend. She should know better.
Correct.
He shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to.
There's no trying.
It's a shared responsibility.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
Exactly.
You don't want to, as my friend, I'm not trying to do that with your relationship. I'm not.
Right.
I'm support you in your relationship. I'm here to support you.
Exactly. Right. Right.
I do not want to bring any of that drama to the
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you for saying
don't want none of that heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, because trust me. Don't do friends come. My wife, hell no.
No, I mean, like I said, I always, and this is something I've had to navigate since I was younger, because I grew up around nothing but guys. Like all the guys that was on my block when I was growing up was all the people that were my age growing up were guys. You know what I mean? So I always had like 1 or 2 girlfriends and like 6 dudes around. So I had to learn to navigate that really, really early. And even being in my relationships, like I said, my ex-husband was a very popular dude, and he always had a lot of females around him. And so I wasn't intimidated by that. I just wanted to be respected because I was.
And he had to make sure that you wasn't into that. It like you everybody else say, you have to make sure that you do the respectful thing so everyone can respect you.
Yeah,
I did.
but to your point, to your original point, I believe platonic relationships are not only possible but absolutely necessary in order for you to have respect, especially if you're trying to be in relationships. My biggest asset is being able to call one of my homeboys or my brother and be like, "Hey, this nigga tripping," you know what I mean? And he can be like, "Well, maybe you tripping," you know what I mean? Like that comes off a lot different than my homegirls, because with the exception of maybe one or two, for the most part, they're gonna be like,
"You're gonna take your side."
Yeah. So they're gonna be like, "Fuck that nigga," you know what I'm saying? But I do have some that are like, "No, girl, you bugging," but I appreciate that perspective, and it's very important to me. I want to thank everybody for participating. Like I said, you guys are awesome. Thank you to John. Thank you to Omarr, who both had to go. I appreciate being able to have, or just listen in to smart, and I'm gonna double up on it. Smart, intelligent, talented, charming, handsome,
emotionally
awesome, emotionally mature.
Yeah.
Just amazing Black men in general. You guys give me, I've said this before when we did the last one, but I mean it, as a single mom with two little boys, you guys give me so much faith, and you guys give me so much hope for what they can be. So I am so incredibly grateful. I can't wait for part 3. I can't wait for the ladies to to have their response to this video. That is what it will be. We will have a conversation with the ladies where we will respond to this video. So I hope you guys come back and check that out, because it ought to be interesting. So my girlfriends are a lot different than my guy friends. Mike, you got any closing words? Also, sorry. Thank you, Mike, for being an awesome moderator tonight. I knew you could do it as my co-host on the podcast. I knew you had it in you, so thank you for killing it as usual. You are
appreciated. Of course,
give him a game show.
Thank you.
Game show.
Thank you.
The next host of Family Feud right there. Steve
Harvey. Hey, yeah, of course, With his tags in the back. I gotta sport his tags.
All right, Mike, you want to go ahead? You got any final remarks before we close it out?
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. And giving a little bit of their time. If you're listening to this, you can't be emotionally closed off and be emotionally mature. And if you are emotionally mature and listening to our thoughts and what we had tonight, hey, reach back to that younger generation and pull them up, get them where we are. They'll be better for it.
And so will the women in your life. Thank you.
Of course.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a grown man. You can tell the world about me.